as he gets ready to go across the way to be Yemi Makanjula, the 6'10" center out of Nigeria. Tip is controlled by Tennessee Tech. Folks, we are underway. Second game of our doubleheader on the OVC Digital Network and Golden Eagle Sports Network. Underneath, it is Morse gets the shot rejected, and then Hugovich does step on the baseline as he tries to keep it in bounds. So Edwardsville will control it for the first time in this evening. Team that went 8-8 in the OVC last season. Did lose in the first round of the OVC tournament, 78-66 to Eastern Illinois. 12-16 overall a year ago. First touch, Makanjula backs down Morse and gets the bucket from in close. Kicks off the scoring, 2-0 Cougars on top. For a team that has lost 3 consecutive ball games. And now Hugovich cannot control, but he is able to flip it right off of Carlos Anderson. So it will stay Tech basketball with 21 to shoot. Look at Thursday's game. Golden Eagles did get off to a slow start. In fact, fell down 9-0 to Eastern Illinois, but would go on to score the next 8. Rowe, the D2, misses short, batted around. It's out of bounds, and it will be last touched by Edwardsville, the officials say. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, did limit Jacksonville State to 36% shooting in the second half of their loss, as Martin and now Morse comes back, ties up the ball game at 2. But 11 3-pointers in the game for the Gamecocks really set the tempo, gave them the 5-point victory to defeat Edwardsville in their opener on Thursday. Cougar basketball, Eslick, who does lead the team in points per game, a cool 13.6 coming into action. Gathers it in as he goes across the perimeter. Now on the drive, the kick. Here's the short jumper that is well off the mark. On the miss there by Keenan Simmons. Here come the Golden Eagles. Torrance Rowe, he leads Tech in points per game. Nice move over to Martin. Takes the dribble and won't get the layup. Offensive board, second chance effort is home. All 4 of Tech's points now, second chance efforts. This time it is Martin who gets on the scoreboard after he had over 20 in the contest on Thursday. Gets his first 2 of the night through traffic. That'll back outside. C.J. Carr on the drive. Too strong on the layup, and it goes Martin's way on the board. Golden Eagles looking to run with Rowe. Steps into the 3 and sinks it home. 7-2 TTU off to the nice start. First points of the ball game for Torrance Rowe, who averages exactly 17 per contest. 21 in Thursday's win against Eastern Illinois. Takes a lot of 3-pointers, most on the Tech team with 98. He is not shy about shooting the basketball. Eslick comes back, no, but the tip-in will drop home for Keenan Simmons. Golden Eagle basketball with a 3-point edge. Torrance Rowe, range really not a factor. So much confidence in the catalyst on a number of occasions, number of comeback victories in the play of Torrance Rowe. Tech has come back from a double-digit deficit 4 times this season. Here goes Morse, a little bit of range, but the shot, no. Rebounded by Edwardsville. Carr fires it right out of bounds on the Cougar turnover, the first one for either side. So far, TTU, 3 out of 8 shooting the basketball, 2 out of 5 for the Cougars. Coming with a first-year head coach, one of the youngest in the nation, 35 years old, as this one is batted over to Morse. Now Rowe with a little bit of space, but there is a foul. It'll go against the Cougars. Now Thomas, over to Rowe. Bounces it underneath. Anthony Morse, the bucket and the foul. Golden Eagles senior, who has turned it on to say the least this season, averaging nearly 8 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per contest. Among the OVC leaders with over 2 blocks per game as well. And we'll head to the free throw line for the first time for either side at the 16:43 mark of the first half. Does send it long. C.J. Carr Couple of defenders converge, forces it back out to Eslick. Shot clock, single digits, it reads 7. Anderson, 4 to shoot, tipped, and Martin gets in front of it. Shermaine Thomas gets fouled. Foul on the court, so it will be a new 30, Tech inbounding. Martin backs down the defender. Ryan Martin, spin, and the finish by Martin. Tech wins the race to double figures. Ryan Martin's got 4. Anthony Morse 4 as well. Golden Eagles getting some presence from the inside. But it now will be a Tennessee Tech foul, and what that does leads us to our under-16 media timeout. Bill Mazzano here. It was the Cougar women earlier tonight, an 83-68 victory. They improved to 2-0. It's just Southeast Missouri and SIU, the only 2 teams over on the women's side to start 2-0. Tech with a win here would be the only men's team in the OVC to be 2-0. Just one other game currently going on in the league. 3-point miss short there by C.J. Carr. Edwardsville does get an offensive rebound and a new 30. Here goes Carr. Drives it. Tries to throw it up, but it gets deflected, and it goes Tech's way. Golden Eagles, Shermaine Thomas will feed Rowe. He's got 3. Morse has 4, and Martin with 4 as well. Now Ryan Martin gets it, drives it, scores it. 6 points, Martin. Tech 5 out of their last 6 they have connected on from the field. And the Golden Eagles rolling right along, lead by 9 with the first 5 minutes just about gone by. There goes Fiorentino's hook is true. Off the bench, and the senior gets his first points of the ball game. Helps stop some of this Golden Eagle momentum. Now Hugovich kicks it. Ryan Martin is on fire. How about 9 points so far for the senior? Tech leads by 10 in the early going. Sophomore C.J. Carr, a little bit of separation and drills it. Got some kind of space between him and Torrance Rowe. Decided why not take the shot. Good decision. Now Rowe through traffic. He responds with a make. Got that friendly roll. Golden Eagles and SIU. Remember the Cougars, relatively new to Division I. They've only met 8 times previously. Tech has won 5 of the previous 8 matchups. It's really been who's at home has dictated the series. Golden Eagles are perfect 3-0 inside this building. And, of course, the big game in this series, January 30th of 2012, as Eslick cannot connect. Offensive board, though, and the foul against Tech. That game back in 2012, Kevin Murphy, program record 50 points scored here inside the Hooper Eblen Center. Which has already been 4 years ago now. So Tech looking to go 4-0 at home against SIU in the series. And, of course, the Golden Eagles, all they've been doing is winning at home. They're perfect 8-0 inside the building. Hansbrough. Golden Eagle freshman comes in, turns the basketball over. That is Tech's first of the contest. Now Thornton for the Cougars. Floats it off the window, won't go, and it's Alexander rebounds it for TTU. Rogers, space, 3-ball on the way, and that's off the side of the rim. Jalen Henry grabs it. Quick pace over the last few possessions. Now Connor Wheeler gives it up, mid-range. Jay rattles through. Jalen Henry, 6'8" sophomore, does the honors. And it's down to 12 points. Handoff, Hansbrough, and a foul. Crowd on hand for the second game of our doubleheader. Right after New Year's 2016, Golden Eagles will look to build themselves a 2-0 OVC record. In the process, go to 10-5 on the season. Thornton skips it underneath. Here's Fiorentinos, who sends it a tad too strong. Anthony Morse hauls in his second rebound of the contest. TTU so far has been shooting lights out in the contest. Martin pacing the way. He's got the basketball here with 9 points, but Tech 10 out of 16, 62.5% shooting. Rogers gives way. Martin, pass inside. It's Anthony Morse with the finish. Look at Tech in the game on Thursday. And for the Golden Eagles, 62.7% shooting. With that make, they're up to 64.7%. They're also 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And that is the 5th team foul. Golden Eagles are 8 of their last 9 from the field. Have it here, leading by 14. It's Rogers, and there will be an offensive foul. He's trying to avenge a 5-point loss to Jacksonville State in what was their 3rd consecutive ball game in which they have dropped. Now a turnover. That is already the 6th one. Here goes Hugovich. Deflected out of bounds, last touch by the Cougars. 5 on the shot clock. And the junior whips it into Anthony Morse, who's got 6 points. Over to Rowe. Loses it. Hugovich controls, though, for TTU. And now we'll direct a little bit of traffic with the offhand. Hugovich bounces it to Morse, and he is called with a, looks like foul on the court. They will not give him the bucket. Sixth-team foul. And Golden Eagles with Hugovich right up top, drains it. Coming off the career-high 26, Hugovich finds the scoreboard after that foul, which was called on Keenan Simmons. Everything going Tech's way right now. They've opened it up to a 17-point advantage. Anderson does come back with the layup. 27-12. But the Golden Eagles just continue to shoot the lights out, and Morse now has 8. Good offensive leads. Among the OVC leaders in block shots. Had the 12 rebounds last game. Off to that great start offensively. 8 points. He's one off the pace of Ryan Martin's 9. Carr throws it up. Nifty finish by C.J. Carr. He's got 4 points. One of 6 Cougars who have scored so far. Carr's 4. He's the only one with more than 2. And with Tech up by 15, Cougars will have the basketball in their 2nd consecutive game away from home. Next 3 out of 4 will be back in Edwardsville. Begins Wednesday against Belmont. Makanjula, and then it's given up eventually into the hands of Anderson. Hop step through the lane, the finish with the right. He has scored 4 consecutive. And now at the 8-minute mark, Thomas gives it up. It is Morse who gets fouled. Anthony Morse just having his way inside so far. This will be their 2nd free throw attempt. 0 for 1 up to this point. The miss was by Anthony Morse as he gets back to the free throw line. And with that make, he deadlocks himself with Ryan Martin for the most points in the ball game. Both Tech seniors each with 9. Each also on 4 of 6 shooting. Morse, he misses the 2nd one. It's jumped up, rebounded by Keenan Simmons. Edwardsville, meanwhile, they are shooting 50% from the field up to this point. Have turned it over 6 times, which has been uncharacteristic of a team that has only averaged 12.5 turnovers per game, 2nd lowest in the OVC. Carr gives it up. Inside it is blocked. It goes out of bounds. Non-conference record. And then the loss to JSU. So a number of new players. In fact, 8 newcomers into the mix as Anderson fires and drills a 3-pointer. So he now leads the Cougar charge with 7 points. Done a bulk of the scoring over the last few possessions. With 8 newcomers, a new head coach as well, John Harris, first season at the helm. Martin gives it up. Shermaine Thomas stops, whips it, row pump fake, and gives it up to Morse. It's been the Stars so far, but there will be a foul. It'll go against Edwardsville inside this building. Already has the best start since they went 13-0 in the Eblin Center in 2004-05. And now Morse does get into double figures for a Tech team that is 22nd in the nation, 74% from the free throw line. They've gone 70 or better in 8 games, 80 or better in 7 of them. A good free throw shooting team at 110 against Piedmont College in the season opener November 14th. Cracked the 100-point barrier with 101 in a 101-64 win November 29th against Mississippi Valley State. Here goes the three that drops home there by Jake Newton. Second consecutive Edwardsville three-pointer. They're now 2 of 4 from downtown, shooting above 50%. Thomas Rowe gets it. So far, he has 5 points, 2 of 3. Shooting. Now Martin step back, misses well off the mark. No iron on the shot. Edwardsville chance to cut it to within single digits. They've trailed by as many as 17. But have connected on 5 of the last 6 field goal attempts. Jump right back in it, and now Henry gets it to an 8-point deficit. It's been away from Cookeville where they are just 1-5. And you look after this game, 5 of the next 6 will be away from Cookeville. I'll have to learn a lot about this Golden Eagle basketball team, who looks to become the only team in the OVC to start 2-0. A miss there by Martin for 3. Rule of thumb, you take care of business at home, you play about 500 on the road, usually is a recipe for success. Thomas sees the wide open 3, won't get it to go. Anderson the rebound. Momentum still here with Edwardsville. Fought back from down 17. Now Anderson, and he gets fouled. Splits the pair to trim it down to 7 with 5:20. All right, now remaining in the first half. Jugovic. He's made a three-pointer. Takes a second one, but won't get it to drop. So now Tech's starting to go a tad bit cold. And it's a 7-point ball game inside 5 minutes. A little bit quiet right now in the Eblin Center. Credit the Cougars, though, who have survived the early blow. Fought hard and now have cut it to 5. It's Makanjula, the 6'10" center. 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes for the Cougars, who have hit 4 straight. Meanwhile, Tech has missed 4 straight. And now a foul. 88% Rogers, but has not taken enough free throws this season. And then you look at Alexa Jugovic as well, 87%. Wheeler floats it up top. It is hauled in there by Fiorentinos. The senior goes to work through the crowd. It's just wrestled away by Martin. Golden Eagles force the 7th Cougar turnover, and Rowe will be unable to connect. Now Thornton inside the 4-minute mark. Cougars hanging tough, down 7. Almost a steal. Eslick drives it. Eslick, and a foul offensively. It will be Tech basketball. Golden Eagles with Trey Hansbrough, Torrance Rowe, Ryan Martin, Anthony Morse, and Alexa Jugovic, the 5 casts in the purple and gold. Jugovic skips it underneath. Rowe gets it. What a pass, Alexa Jugovic. Rowe cut baseline up and under. He's got 7. Hugovich collects his third assist. He's now tied with Rowe for the most this evening. At least for Tech, there's been 4 assists by C.J. Carr, who has the basketball here. Takes the deep 3, too strong. Hugovich soars in for the board. And now whips it to Martin. Can't catch it cleanly. Carr throws it right off of Martin. That's an alert play by the sophomore. Trying to save it, was about to fall right out of bounds. Instead found Martin, just flipped it right off of the Golden Eagles senior. And so it goes Edwardsville's way at the 3-minute mark, half number 1. Carr on a hop. Fiorentinos gives it up. Eslick has been kept in check so far. Scoreless for the team leaders, averaging over 13.5 per game. Spins, throws it up, and connects. Jalen Henry. Cougars all of a sudden actually shooting better than Tennessee Tech. As Martin gets fouled here, they will not give him the bucket to pace the Cougar attack. One out of 2 trip for Martin. 37-29 with 2:25 remaining in the first half. Keenan Simmons zipped around the corner to C.J. Carr. Now inside. Makanjula, he gets fouled. Who is a 69% free throw shooter. 32 out of 46. Misses well short. Anthony Morse will haul in the rebound, his third of the contest. Tech will elect to slow things down just a tad. Torrance Rowe gets ready to run the show. And it goes out of bounds. Martin could not corral it in there. Golden Eagle turnover number 6. Not a critical time in the end of the first half. Inside 2 minutes, Tech has been able to maintain their margin. Cougars have come on strong. So he can finish his first half strong. It goes Carr, not going to go. Hansbrough the board. Golden Eagles can really put some separation going into the break, or the Cougars, of course, make it a little more interesting. Hugovich, baseline, collides into C.J. Carr. Just want to jump it back up to double figures, which is where Tech comfortably led for most of the at least halfway through the first half. For the Cougar run, cut it to as close as a 5-point ball game. Anderson working on Hansbrough, gives it up to Eslick. See if they can get him going for the Cougars, the team leader in points per game. Anderson stops, gives it up, 6 to shoot. Anderson gets it back, he's home the deep 3, clanks it, rebound Martin. Ryan Martin hauls in his third rebound. Inside the final minute, Golden Eagles by 10. And let's see what Rowe will do. Tech in no rush right here with a comfortable margin. Shot clock, and now goes down to 7. Rowe changes direction, and the foul. And now Torrance Rowe is in double figures with 10. Virtually identical shot clock to game clock. Connor Wheeler, the senior. Looks like he will try to hold this one for the final possession. Eslick maneuvers, loses it. Ryan Martin has it. Golden Eagles with a chance. There'll be a kick on that. Cougars with Tech by a 13-point margin. Over to Torrance Rowe. Clock winding down. Torrance Rowe takes the 3. Doesn't get it. And that will end the first half. 20 minutes in the book. Tennessee Golden Eagles on top against Eastern Illinois. A 94-87 84 win. It'll be Cougar basketball. Second half is officially underway. Delighted to bring you the final 20 minutes. Golden Eagles and Cougars. SIUE first. CJ Carr. Carr pulls up, elbow rattles out, and it goes to Ryan Martin for Tennessee Tech. This is, for Ryan Martin, fourth rebound. Golden Eagles, same five starters that we saw in the first half for TTU. No change as well in the Cougar lineup with Eslick, Carr, Anderson, Makanjula, and Simmons. It's Anthony Morse who puts it in for the pair. Leads all scores with 13. Martin, Morse, and Rowe all double figures. And the Golden Eagles bump it up to 15. Anderson, he led the Cougars in scoring with 8 first half points, 3 of 4 shooting, and a three-pointer as well. Now Carr. Makanjula stripped away, but it goes to Simmons. Shot won't go. Offensive board. Makanjula can't get it to drop. It does go out of bounds. Beku comes into this matchup 9-5 overall, a perfect 8-0 in the Evelyn Center. We've told you that that is the best start since 04-05. They went 13-0 at home to begin the year. Handoff, Jugovic pops out of his mitts and goes out of bounds. A Tech turnover, rare one. Golden Eagles, that is their 7th versus 9 across the way for the Cougars, who also are looking to snap a 3-game losing streak as they play here tonight. Anderson. That's it to Makanjula. Backs down. Morse goes up. No good. Golden Eagles, which has scored 2 points in the first 2 minutes and change now. Rowe. Back outside. Jugovic the catch. Jugovic the drive. He kicks. Martin. 3 ball from the corner. Too short. On one. Trickles out to Keenan Simmons, who grabs the board. And now Carr once again. Makanjula the catch. Offense has run through him in the early stages of the second. And the ball will go out of bounds, but will be last touched by TTU. Had 2 first half points and a rebound. Shot clock goes to 9. Carr gets it back. The sophomore range won't drop on the 3. Martin rebound number 5, and he gets it out to Torrance Rowe. Jugovic tries to throw it up top, tipped away, but Morse is gathering it. Now Anthony Morse throws it in. Nice finish by Morse, who gets to 15. Fiorentino's back the other way. And Morse will keep it alive. Now towards Rowe. Shermaine Thomas makes the move. Martin inside, and he gets fouled. Added a point to that margin. TTU looks to become the first team in the OVC to start 2-0 this season. Golden Eagles went 4-12 last year in conference play, missed the OVC tournament. Lost their first 2 games, both on the road. They had the trip up north to Eastern Illinois, and then SIU Edwardsville. Was big theme of our Thursday broadcast. As now Simmons deep 2. That's not going to drop. Rogers the board. Game on Thursday, so we will have a foul, and then Jugovic, and is kind of the theme that kind of derailed the beginning of the season. Tech ultimately unable to recover, but now trying to go 2-0 this season. Came back from a 9-point deficit on Thursday. From start up until now, they've led comfortably. Did get to as close as 5, but they've led by 17 on 2 occasions. Morse diving to try to save it, but he is on the sideline, his Carr. 14:55 to go. Rogers will inbound. Whips it to Torrance Rowe. Rowe's got 10 so far. Tries to get some separation, and they will get a foul. And it does go on Keenan Simmons, the third personal, third team foul. For the under 16, it was Mason Ramsey who was charged for his 4th foul. So he is forced to depart. Picked up the quick 3 despite 4 points on 2 of 2 shooting. Now has been forced to depart with some more foul trouble. Torrance Rowe. Underneath, catch Morse, tipped around. Rogers is able to save it. Nice play, but then Tech, it's sloppy out there. Body sitting the deck. Oh, pure chaos, and Martin will score. Chaotic possession, to say the least. But the Golden Eagles kind of clicking their way right now for TTU. Up 16. Number of players just falling all over the place, but Martin ends up throwing an exclamation point on the end of the possession. Inside, kick back out. Thornton, 3-ball, rattles out. Underneath the board, and there will be a whistle. And with that miss, as there is a foul, goes the 3rd on Anthony Morse, who of course is having a great ball game. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 of 8 shooting for the Golden Eagles senior. And a new 30 is Edwardsville will inbound baseline out to Henry. For Wheeler the catch. He'll bark out the play, direct a tad bit of traffic as well. Into the corner, Henry back out. Still plenty of time in this Cougar possession. Stepping into the 3, Wheeler drains it. 50-38. Seeing what the Cougars can do, cutting that 17-point Tech lead down to 5. Rogers, catch, throws it in for 3. His first points of the evening for the junior transfer. So Tech gets that 3 back and gets it back up to 15. Thornton tipped away. Rogers gets it, dribbles out of the traffic. Now Shermaine Thomas will control. Golden Eagles force the 11th Cougar turnover. And Thomas picks it up, free throw line. Ryan Martin dribbles it inside all the way to the bucket, soars it in. And just like that, it is back to 17. And a foul underneath. And now Morse with the 4 fouls will come in for Martin, who departs the ball game with 24 points. Which for Ryan Martin is a career high. He had 20 points 3 different times this season, including last game as misfiring the 3-ball by Jake Newton. Shermaine Thomas gives it up to Rogers, and now Rowe will slow it down. Rogers, he's been on fire. That almost continues, just does pop out, but an offensive board. Morse. Golden Eagles, of course, leading by 23, are in no rush. Look a lot of this possession down. Alexander drives it, and Alexander missed, but it's Morse on the putback. In terms of numbers of players who have been able to score double figures, only Georgia Southern has more players. Connor Wheeler will skip it over to Anderson on the wing. Step back, Anderson misses short. Offensive board, Fiorentinos gets the bucket. Rogers with 12 tonight. Handoff goes Shermaine Thomas's way. Thomas kicks it. Rogers, 3 ball, clanks it, and a foul against Tech after Wheeler hit the deck. And it will go on Anthony Morse. So Anthony Morse now fouls out of the contest. Martin is forced to come back in.